Good day and welcome to the Global Sources third quarter 2014 results conference call. Today's conference is being recorded. At this time, I'd like to turn the conference over to Becky Herrick of LHA. Please go ahead.
Thank you, operator, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today for the Global Sources third quarter 2014 earnings conference call. Speaking on the call today are Merle Heinrich, Executive Chairman, and Connie Lai, Chief Financial Officer. If anyone has not yet received the earnings press release, it is now available at the company's website at globalsources.com. If you'd like to be added to our distribution list, or if you'd like additional information about Global Sources, you may call LHA at 415-433-3777. A telephone replay of this call is scheduled to be available until November 20th, 2014, and the dialing instructions are included in the press release. The replay is also scheduled to be available on the Investor Relations page of the company's website for at least 30 days. But before I turn the call over to management, let me remind you that this call will contain forward-looking statements. Investors should be aware that any forward-looking statements are based on assumptions and are subject to risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from those discussed here today. These risk factors are explained in detail in the company's filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Global Sources did not undertake any obligation to publicly update or revise any forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information, future events, or otherwise. Management has provided certain measures that are not in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, or IFRS. Management believes non-IFRS metrics are useful measures of operations and provides IFRS to non-IFRS reconciliation tables at the end of the earnings press release. Global Sources defines non-IFRS net income as net income excluding non-cash, stock-based compensation expense or credit, amortization of intangibles as it relates to certain equity compensation plans, profits or losses on acquisitions and investments net of transaction costs and related tax expenses, and or impairment charges net of related taxes for all historical and future references to non-IFRS metrics. Non-IFRS EPS is defined as non-IFRS net income divided by the weighted average of diluted common shares outstanding. Adjusted EBITDA is defined as earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, stock-based compensation, impairment of goodwill and intangible assets, and profits or losses on acquisitions and investments, net of transaction costs and related tax expenses. Management would like to remind you that the non-cash stock-based compensation charge is a charge to the income statement and a corresponding credit to the additional paid-in capital. Hence, there is no impact on shareholders' equity. I'd also like to remind you about Regulation FD restrictions. The company's official spokespeople to the investment community are Merle Heinrich and Connie Lai. I would now like to turn the call over to Mr. Heinrich. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you for joining our call today. For the third quarter, we reported revenue of $42.5 million and achieved an IFRS and non-IFRS earnings per share of $0.06 and $0.08 respectively. Our third quarter results reflect the success of our initiatives to combine the best of online services and the best of trade shows. We held 6 shows during the quarter, 4 for the mainland China market and 2 for the export market. Our third quarter included several key events in the mainland China market, ranging from electronics to fashion. IIC China, our annual systems design event, showcased IC application technologies and high-end components. The China International Optical Electronic Exposition, or CIOE, presented the most advanced optoelectronic technologies and innovations. The Global Sources Fair, Mobile and Wireless in Shenzhen, showcased mobile, intelligent devices, and consumer electronics. The Fashion SZ show featured key mainland China suppliers in the garments and accessories industry. With regards to our export shows, in August we launched the China Sourcing Fairs in Jakarta, featuring more than 350 booths from Greater China suppliers of consumer electronics, garments, textiles, hardware, and building materials. China Sourcing Fairs were also held in São Paulo, Brazil in August, and in October and within the fourth quarter, we held our fall series of China Sourcing Fairs in Hong Kong. We were pleased with the buyer attendance, which exceeded 75,000 from more than 148 countries and territories. The electronics show was our first and largest phase, featuring more than 3,700 booths from suppliers based in Greater China, Korea, and 9 other countries. Our new specialized mobile electronics show showcased the latest smartphones, tablets, wearables, and accessories. The event featured more than 1,500 booths, a 43% increase from April. Combined, the two shows were an overwhelming success, with overall buyer attendance up by more than 36%. The third phase encompassed gifts and home products, while the fourth phase was focused on fashion accessories and apparel. Private sourcing events were held from August through the end of October for more than 70 sourcing teams from very large buying organizations, including Auchan, Blade Group, Group Adeo, Philips, and Top Toy. These events created more than 350 high-quality, one-on-one selling opportunities for Global Sources suppliers. Now, I'll turn the call over to Connie, after which I will conclude with comments about our strategy and direction. Connie?
Thank you, Mr. Eric. I will now review our financial results for the third quarter of 2014 as compared to the third quarter of 2013. Total revenue was $42.5 million as compared to $44.8 million. Online revenue was $20.3 million as compared to $22 million. Exhibitions revenue was $17.6 million for both periods. Print service revenue was $2.8 million as compared to $3.4 million. Total operating expenses were $38.5 million as compared to $36.4 million. Interest income was $296,000 as compared to $467,000. IFRS net income was $1.9 million or 6 cents per diluted share as compared to IFRS net income of $5.4 million or 15 cents per diluted share in the third quarter of 2013. Non-IFRS net income was $2.6 million or 8 cents per diluted share as compared to $6.1 million or 17 cents per diluted share. Adjusted EBITDA for the quarter was $7.4 million as compared to $11 million. Now, for the 9 months end September 30, 2014, as compared to the 9 months end September 30, 2013. Revenue was $135.3 million as compared to $137.5 million. IFRS net income was $9 million or 26 cents per diluted share as compared to $27.8 million or 77 cents per diluted share. Non-IFRS net income was $12.6 million or 37 cents per diluted share as compared to $19.3 million or 54 cents per diluted share. Adjusted EBITDA was $25.2 million as compared to $27.4 million. Now, onto our balance sheet as of September 30, 2014, as compared to September 30, 2013. As a reminder, in June 2014, the company completed a cash tender offer for 5 million issued and outstanding common shares at a purchase price of $10 per share in cash. Cash and securities as of September 30, 2014, total $95.7 million as compared to $145.9 million. Our short-term deferred income and customer prepayments were $99.1 million as compared to $98.2 million. Total assets as of September 30, 2014 were $328.5 million as compared to $355.7 million. Also, we continue to have no short-term or long-term bank debt. Days sales outstanding were 6 days as compared to 7 days. We continue to build shareholder value by growing our retained earnings. Retained earnings as of September 30, 2014 were $200.6 million as compared to $186.6 million. Total shareholder equities was $163.1 million as compared to $197.2 million. Now, onto our guidance. We are reiterating our guidance for the second half of 2014. Under IFRS, for the second half of 2014 ending December 31, 2014, our revenue is expected to be between $102 million to $104 million, as compared to $104.8 million for the second half of 2013. IFRS EPS is expected to be between 13 to 17 cents as compared to 29 cents per diluted shares in the second half of 2013. Stock-based compensation and amortization of intangibles, as is related to certain equity compensation plans, are estimated to be an expense of 5 cents per diluted share for the second half of 2014. Non-IFRS EPS is expected to be between 18 to 22 cents as compared to 47 cents per diluted shares in the second half of 2013. The shares used in the diluted net income per share calculation for the second half of 2014 are approximately 31.6 million as compared to approximately 36.2 million for the second half of 2013. Adjusted EBITDA is expected to be between 13 million and 14.2 million as compared to 24.1 million in the second half of 2013. And now, I'll turn the call back to Mr. Hansen.
Thank you, Connie. Next, I will provide an update on our strategic direction. We serve the international export market with our online services and trade shows. Across our 18 product verticals, mainland China exports remain stable, and in some cases, such as electronics, they have continued to improve. Our services help global buyers find and meet reliable exporters from the mainland China and Asia by integrating the best of online with the best of trade shows. We continue to provide more exclusive and valuable content both online and at the shows. We have also greatly increased the depth and breadth of supplier information on the globalsources.com website. We are committed to providing buyers with the most qualified selection of B2B exporters in the industry we serve. We continue to develop new offerings, and in October, we completed the launch of our new mobile electronic vertical, an ecosystem of services for the mobile electronics industry. Mobile electronics is an industry-specialized community of buyers and suppliers connected through content, communication, and 5 media channels: an online marketplace, a magazine, alerts, an app, and trade shows. Key components of the ecosystem include 400,000 buyers worldwide, including more than 100,000 verified at shows, 10,000 suppliers with a focus on including those who have exported, exhibited, or have been audited. The number one site for the industry featuring exclusive product reports, search, and analysis, and the number one sourcing show each April and October in Hong Kong. The Mobile Electronics Fair held this past October was the largest sourcing show of its kind. With more than 1,500 booths, buyers found a wide range of smartphones, tablets, wearables, and accessories exhibited by suppliers from mainland China, Korea, and elsewhere in Asia. In summary, we continue to execute our strategy, strengthening our position in our core export-focused business, developing new product and markets, expanding in mainland China's domestic B2B market, and continuing to evaluate potential acquisitions of complementary businesses and product lines. And now, operator, please may I open the call for questions. Thank you.
Certainly. If you'd like to ask a question, please signal by pressing star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you're using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Again, that is star 1 to ask a question, and we'll pause just a moment to allow everyone an opportunity to signal for questions. Again, that is star 1 if you'd like to ask a question. Mr. Heinrich, at this time, it appears there are no questions. I'd like to turn it back over to you for any additional or closing remarks.
Well, thank you, operator, and I would like to thank everyone that has joined us here on the call. Thank you again, and we'll see you in another 3 months. Good night.
That will conclude today's conference. We thank everyone for their participation.